Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Riesa Alditha Harahap and I am a medical student of medical faculty in Bengkulu University. Okay, my friends, in this presentation we will discuss about stress and depressive symptoms among undergraduate medical students of different professional years at a medical college in northern India, a cross-sectional study. The content of the presentation that I will show is background, aim, method, result, discussion, and conclusion. Okay, next is background. Medical students are exposed to tremendous pressure leading to stress, depression, and other psychiatric disorders at increasingly higher rates. The stress and depression can affect their learning and can lead to poor quality of life. The students of different professional year may have different reasons for being under stress and in depression. Assessing stress and depression in students of different professional years may provide better insight and help policymakers plan appropriate interventions. Stress and depression are common among medical students. While stress can sometimes be beneficial to the students for improving performance, its long-lasting effect can be damaging both physiologically and physically. Various factors causing stress or stressors could be related to students' campus life, academic pressure, interpersonal problems with peers and teachers, among others. Stress and depression are also responsible for a significant number of suicides in medical students every year. This may be responsible for poor academic function, low self-esteem, and overall a poor quality of life. So, identifying and managing even the milder form of stress and depression may be important. Okay, next, aim. To measure and compare the prevalence and severity of stress, various aspects of life affected by stress and depressive symptoms among medical students of various professional years. Aim of this study was to compare stress severity among depressed and non-depressed medical students. The study was done on undergraduate medical students using the tools of Student Stress Dimension Questionnaire and PAndey. In the study, it was found that depression students had higher stress. A significant number of medical students were there who had no or mild depressive symptoms but had significantly high stress in their lives. Okay, next, materials and methods. Study design and settings. A cross-sectional observational study was conducted in a period from February 2018 to January 2019 among undergraduate medical students at a medical college in northern part of India. The study was approved by the ethical committee of the institute. For calculation of sample size, the prevalence of stress and depression were taken at 51% and 39%. As mentioned in a recent systematic review on the topic, the level of significance equal to 0.05 and bound of error 5% or deviation from the actual value. The estimated sample size calculated for the given prevalence at 95% confidence interval was 115. An article has been published from the same project on the same population in 2020. Second is tools for assessment. Semi-structured socio-demographic profile performa. To record the necessary socio-demographic information like age, sex, monthly income and education, domicile, religion, and professional year, socioeconomic status was recorded as per modified Kupuswamy socioeconomic scale. Mini version 5. Screening questions were used to screen and identify physiatric disorders among the participants. Next is SSDQ. It is a self-rated questionnaire available and validated in both Hindi and English language to assess common physico-social factors implicated in causing stress in students. It has total of 19 items grouped under 10 domains: physical, personal, interpersonal, educational, social, behavioral, familial, stress coping, physical and sexual abuse, and mood and thought domain. It effectively identifies the common daily stressors in that domain. Each domain has different number of questions, with personal domain having maximum of 17 questions and social domain having less with 5 questions. Next is HAMD. The Hamilton rating scale for depression was written in the late 1915 by M. Hamilton. The first 17 items measured were used to detect the severity of depression symptoms. Score of more than 7 was taken as depression. Next is study procedure. Students were encouraged to participate in the study, taught math to math. Publicity and banners were also stuck on the walls to encourage the students to participate in the study. A study was done at the Department of Psychiatry at the Institute. Students who came for participation meet the train. Psychiatry's junior resident. Third is statistical analysis. Data was analyzed using statistical package for the social sciences, or SPSS, statistic version in United States. Descriptive statistic was used for socio-demographic and clinical parameters. Normally of data was accessed using Shapiro-Wilk test. Chi-Secure test and one-way ANOVA was used to make the group comparisons. All tests were too tailored. The value of P 0.05 was considered as statistically significant. Okay, next, result. In this table was prevalence of stress and depression according to different professional years. SSDQ is Student Stress Domain Questionnaire. Mini is Mini International Neuropsychiatric Interview. HAMD is Hamilton Depression Rating Scale. Okay, there were 15 subjects in each of the study groups. First professional year, second professional year, and third professional and final professional year. The prevalence of stress was found to be among 60.67% of the participant and 40.67% of the participant had depression based on Mini 5. Mild depressive symptoms were found in 36.67% of the participant and 50.13% of the participant were having moderate to severe depressive symptoms as characterized on HAMD. Okay, on this table shows category-wise distribution of stress and depression prevalence. Okay, next, in this table was comparison of socio-demographic profile and clinical variables among students of different professional year. Okay, so in this table, no significant group differences were seen on comparison of the three groups except for the H1A021009 which was significantly more in third professional year group, and the family history of psychiatric illness, which was significantly more in the first professional year group. On comparing the SSDK domain-wise and SSDK total score, significant group differences were seen between the three groups in majority, with first professional year group having more score than second professional year, which in turn had higher score than third professional year group. Except for the physical and sexual abuse domain, in which score of second professional year was higher than first professional year group, which in turn had higher score than third professional year group, and in mood and thought domain, in which first professional year group had higher score than third professional year group, which in turn had higher score than second professional year group. So no significant group differences were seen in interpersonal domain. The three groups also differ significantly in the PAndey total score. Okay, next is discussion. The study was an attempt to systematically assess stress and depressive symptoms among medical students of different professional years. A comparison was made between stress profile and depressive symptoms among students of different professional years, so that the genesis of these conditions in medical students can be better understood. The study is first from the medical college in which this study has been performed, assessing stress and depressive symptoms extensively in all domains of life, and provides important data for inclusions in policy making for mental health condition of medical students. In one study, the authors reported higher stress scores in final year medical students as compared to initial year, and cited the reasons as the uncertainty about their future, which creeps in as medical students have to face highly competitive postgraduate exchange examinations. However, in this regards, the scale used by the study more specifically assesses stress in educational domain as compared to SSDK, which was used in present studies. So stress was studied more comprehensively. And next is conclusions. Due to paucity of Indian literature on stress and depressive symptoms in medical students, the present study was an attempt to give more insight on this issue. The medical college students encounter a number of common daily stressors in their day-to-day life, which leads to high prevalence of stress and depressive symptoms, especially in their early career. If not dealt appropriately, it can only escalate and hamper their academic performance, emotional and social well-being. It is recommended that sensitization programs be directed towards this aspect, also through various methods like group counseling and various other education programs, assigning medical teachers as their guardians starting early on, from first years itself, to identify and help those in need, and further motivate them to seek assistance of mental health professional years to tackle stress and depression. Then lastly, there is a quote from Peter Damian that we can contemplate is, "Do not be depressed. Do not let your weakness make you impatient. Instead, Let the serenity of your spirit shine through your face. Let the joy of your mind burst forth. And thank you very much for your great attention, ladies and gentlemen. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.